Before GPS, before touchscreens, before all the fancy tech we have today, there were machines that ran on raw power, grease, and sheer guts. The 1980s produced some of the most legendary backhoes ever built, iron beasts that crews fought over on job sites across America. If your old man ran one of these, he was the king of the yard. Let's dig into the 10 most iconic. Number 1. JCB 3CX Sitemaster. By the mid-1980s, the JCB 3CX Sitemaster had become the benchmark backhoe loader across Europe and was rapidly gaining ground worldwide. Although JCB had been building backhoes since the 1950s, the Sitemaster version of the 3CX marked a clear shift from good to industry-leading. Crews didn't just want this machine, they expected it to be available on serious job sites. What made the 3CX Sitemaster stand out was balance. JCB engineers focused on creating a machine that didn't excel at just one task, but performed consistently across loading, trenching, lifting, and site cleanup. Powered by proven Perkins diesel engines during this period, the machine delivered strong low-end torque, exactly what operators needed when breaking compacted ground or loading heavy material. Unlike some competitors, the power delivery felt predictable rather than aggressive, which reduced operator fatigue during long shifts. Hydraulics were another strong point. The 3CX Sitemaster featured smooth, responsive hydraulic control that allowed precise digging close to existing utilities, a major advantage in urban and municipal work. Operators often commented that the machine felt planted thanks to its well-distributed weight and stable outriggers. This stability inspired confidence when lifting pipes, setting manholes, or working on uneven ground. From a maintenance standpoint, the 3CX earned its reputation the hard way, by surviving abuse. Daily grease points were easy to access, filters were logically placed, and the machine tolerated inconsistent maintenance better than many rivals. Rental fleets loved it because even inexperienced operators struggled to seriously damage it. Contractors loved it because downtime was minimal and resale value remained high. By the late 1980s, the JCB 3CX Sitemaster wasn't just popular, it was the machine crews compared everything else to. If a job site had one, it usually became the primary backhoe, regardless of what else was parked nearby. Number 2. JCB 4CX. While the 3CX dominated general-purpose work, the JCB 4CX was the machine crews wanted when jobs became bigger, deeper, and heavier. Although introduced before the 1980s, the 4CX saw extensive use throughout the decade and earned a reputation as one of the toughest backhoe loaders of its time. The 4CX was heavier and more muscular than standard backhoes, designed for contractors who needed extra breakout force and lifting capability without stepping up to a dedicated excavator. Its reinforced frame and stronger loader arms made it ideal for road construction, drainage projects, and industrial groundwork. Operators immediately noticed the difference. This machine didn't flinch when digging in hard clay or rock-laden soil. One defining feature of the 4CX was its stability. JCB engineered the machine with a wider stance and robust axles, which translated into confidence when lifting heavy loads or working on slopes. Crews trusted it in conditions where lighter backhoes felt borderline unsafe. For utility contractors laying deep pipelines, the 4CX often replaced smaller machines that simply couldn't reach or lift efficiently. Hydraulically, the 4CX delivered raw strength rather than finesse. But that's exactly what crews wanted. It could power through stubborn material, pry loose buried obstacles, and handle larger buckets without feeling overworked. On loader duties, it moved material quickly and efficiently, reducing cycle times on larger sites. Despite its size, the 4CX remained serviceable. Mechanics appreciated the heavy-duty components, which wore slower than lighter machines. While fuel consumption was higher than smaller backhoes, contractors accepted that trade-off for the productivity gain. In the 1980s, owning a JCB 4CX sent a message. This crew was built for serious work. It wasn't the most common backhoe on every site, but when it was there, it usually handled the toughest tasks. Number 3. Case Construction Equipment. 5. 80D Construction King. The Case 580D Construction King represented everything contractors loved about Case backhoes in the early 1980s: simplicity, toughness, and long-term reliability. Building on the success of earlier 580 models, the D series refined the formula without overcomplicating it, a decision crews appreciated. Powered by Case diesel engines known for durability rather than refinement, the 580D delivered dependable torque and long service life. These engines were not picky. They ran reliably in hot summers, cold winters, and dusty environments with basic maintenance. For many small contractors and municipalities, this reliability mattered more than outright performance numbers. The hydraulic system on the 580D was straightforward and predictable. Operators could feel exactly how the machine responded, making it easier to trench close to existing structures or utilities. The loader side offered solid breakout force and excellent visibility, which made it efficient for loading trucks, backfilling trenches, and general site cleanup. One reason the 580D became so widespread was its mechanical accessibility. Most repairs could be handled in-house without specialized tools. Bushings, pins, hoses, and seals were readily available, and Case's dealer network ensured parts availability even in remote areas. This kept operating costs low and machines working longer. In the 1980s, it was common to see Case 580Ds with thousands of hours still performing daily work. Rental companies favored them because they survived inexperienced operators, while seasoned crews trusted them because they behaved consistently day after day. The 580D didn't try to be flashy, and that was its strength. It earned loyalty through reliability, making it one of the most respected backhoes of the decade. Number 4. Case Construction Equipment 580C. Although technically a late 1970s machine, the Case 580C remained deeply entrenched on job sites throughout the early 1980s. Many crews preferred to keep their 580C rather than trade up immediately, and for good reason. It was one of the most mechanically honest machines ever built. The 580C embodied the philosophy that durability mattered more than comfort. Its mechanical controls, rugged drivetrain, and simple hydraulics made it nearly indestructible when maintained properly. Operators trusted it because there were no surprises. What you felt through the controls directly reflected what the machine was doing underground. The engine was a workhorse, delivering steady power rather than bursts of speed. This suited trenching, footings, and general excavation, where consistency mattered. The loader side wasn't the fastest, but it was strong and dependable, capable of moving material all day without overheating or fatigue. Maintenance was where the 580C truly shined. Most service tasks could be performed with basic tools, and many mechanics could diagnose issues by sound or feel alone. Parts were cheap, plentiful, and interchangeable across many Case models, which made ownership economical. In the early 1980s, the 580C often worked alongside newer machines and frequently outlasted them. Crews respected it because it didn't demand attention, it simply worked. Even as newer models arrived, many contractors kept their 580Cs as backup machines, knowing they would always start and dig when needed. The Case FTS 580C proved that a well-built machine doesn't become obsolete overnight, and that reputation carried Case's backhoe legacy well into the rest of the decade. Number 5. Caterpillar 416 Backhoe Loader. When Caterpillar officially entered the modern backhoe loader market with the 416 in 1985, it was a major event in the construction world. Cat was already synonymous with bulldozers, excavators, and heavy earth-moving equipment, but many contractors had been waiting to see what Caterpillar would do if it built a backhoe from the ground up. The 416 was the answer, and it immediately changed buying habits on many job sites. Unlike competitors that evolved backhoes from tractor platforms, Caterpillar designed the 416 as a purpose-built machine. The frame, loader arms, backhoe assembly, and hydraulic routing were engineered specifically for backhoe work, not adapted from agricultural routes. Crews noticed this immediately. The machine felt solid, heavy, and confidence-inspiring, especially when lifting loads or working at full reach. Power came from Caterpillar diesel engines, known for longevity rather than speed. These engines delivered steady torque and handled long operating hours without complaint. Operators often remarked that the 416 felt understressed, meaning it rarely felt like it was working at its limits. This translated directly into long service life, a major selling point for municipalities and large contractors. Hydraulics was smooth and deliberate. While not as fast as some competitors, the system offered excellent control, ideal for utility work where precision mattered more than raw speed. The loader side had impressive breakout force, making the 416 effective for truck loading and heavy backfilling tasks. Dealer support was one of the 416's biggest advantages. Caterpillar's global dealer network meant parts availability and trained service technicians were never far away. For many crews, this alone justified the higher purchase price. Downtime was costly, and CAT's support infrastructure minimized it. By the late 1980s, the Caterpillar 416 had earned a reputation as a premium backhoe. Not always the cheapest, but one of the most respected. Crews wanted it because it brought Caterpillar durability into a segment that demanded versatility. Number 6. John Deere 310B Backhoe Loader. The John Deere 310B represented Deere's philosophy perfectly during the early 1980s. Build machines that were rugged, familiar, and easy to maintain. While Deere's backhoes didn't chase radical innovation, they earned loyalty through dependability, and the 310B was one of the most widely trusted machines of its era. Derived from Deere's agricultural engineering background, the 310B felt instantly familiar to operators who had run tractors. Controls were intuitive, the layout was logical, and visibility was excellent for its time. This made it particularly popular with municipal crews, utility contractors, and rural operators who needed one machine to do many jobs. The Deere diesel engine was known for durability and fuel efficiency. It produced strong low-end torque, ideal for trenching and loader work, without excessive fuel consumption. In an era when fuel costs were a growing concern, this mattered. Hydraulically, the 310B was predictable rather than aggressive. Operators appreciated the smooth response, especially when working near buried utilities or foundations. While it didn't have the brute force of heavier machines, it compensated with control and reliability. Maintenance was where the 310B truly shined. Deere's parts network, already massive due to its agricultural presence, made parts easy to source even in remote areas. Many components were shared across Deere equipment lines, reducing inventory complexity for fleet owners. By the mid-1980s, the 310B was a staple on job sites across North America. Crews trusted it to start every morning, work all day, and require minimal attention. It wasn't flashy, but it was dependable, and that's exactly why crews wanted it. Number 7. Ford 550 555B Backhoe Loader. The Ford 555 and 555B backhoe loaders became extremely popular during the mid-1980s, especially in rental fleets and with small to medium contractors. Ford positioned the 555 series as a practical, no-nonsense backhoe that delivered solid performance without unnecessary complexity. Powered by Ford diesel engines, the 555 offered respectable torque and reliable operation. These engines were easy to maintain and forgiving of inconsistent maintenance, an important trait in rental environments. Crews knew the machine would keep running even after being passed from operator to operator. The 555's hydraulics were straightforward and efficient. It offered enough digging force for utility trenches, foundations, and drainage work, while the loader side handled material efficiently. It wasn't the strongest machine in its class, but it was versatile and predictable, two traits crews valued highly. One reason the Ford 555 gained traction was its comfort. Compared to older machines, the operator's station felt more refined, with improved seating, better visibility, and more logical control placement. Long shifts were less tiring, which translated into better productivity. Ford's dealer network and parts availability made ownership practical. Even as Ford later exited the construction equipment market, parts support for 555 series machines remained strong through successor brands, keeping these machines working long after the 90s. By the end of the decade, the Ford 555 had earned a reputation as a reliable, approachable backhoe, ideal for crews that needed a capable machine without the cost or weight of premium heavy-duty models. Number 8. New Holland 110 B-Series backhoe loaders. During the 1980s, New Holland backhoe loaders steadily gained ground among contractors who wanted a machine that combined strong digging performance with modern design thinking. While the 110 name became more prominent later, Its B-series backhoes of the 1980s laid the foundation for what crews eventually recognized as New Holland's signature balance of power and usability. These machines were designed with contractor feedback in mind. Unlike some older tractor-based backhoes, New Holland's approach emphasized a stronger loader frame and improved hydraulic response. Crews noticed that the machines handled both trenching and material handling with confidence. The loader side in particular was praised for its breakout force and stability when loading trucks or pushing material across uneven sites. Power came from reliable diesel engines tuned for steady torque rather than high RPM output. This made the machines effective for long workdays where overheating or power fade could become a problem. Operators appreciated that the machine felt consistent from the first hour to the last. Hydraulics were one of New Holland's strengths. The system allowed for smooth, controlled movements that made precision digging easier, especially on utility jobs where accuracy mattered. While not the fastest machines on paper, their predictable response translated into fewer mistakes and less rework, something experienced crews valued highly. Maintenance access was another advantage. Filters, service points, and major components were positioned logically, reducing downtime during routine servicing. For fleet owners, this meant lower operating costs and fewer headaches. By the late 1980s, New Holland backhoes had earned a reputation as quietly capable machines. They didn't always dominate headlines, but crews respected them for getting work done efficiently and reliably. For many contractors, choosing New Holland meant choosing steady productivity over hype. Number 9. Massey Ferguson MF50B Backhoe Loader. The Massey Ferguson 50B occupied a unique place in the 1980s backhoe market. It was never marketed as the most powerful or most advanced machine, but it earned respect by being dependable, versatile, and affordable. For many crews, especially in rural areas, the 50B was exactly what they needed. Rooted in Massey Ferguson's agricultural heritage, the 50B felt more like a tractor with serious digging capability than a pure construction machine. This worked in its favor. Operators familiar with farm equipment adapted instantly, and mechanics already comfortable with Massey engines and drivetrains found the machine easy to service. The diesel engine delivered steady, usable power that handled trenching, light excavation, and loader work without drama. While it wasn't designed for deep urban utility work, it excelled in farm drainage, small foundations, fence lines, and general property maintenance. Hydraulics was simple and reliable. The backhoe offered enough reach and force for most rural and light commercial jobs, while the loader side was effective for material handling and cleanup. Crews appreciated the machine's forgiving nature. It didn't punish inexperienced operators and tolerated imperfect technique. One of the 50B's biggest strengths was cost efficiency. Purchase prices were lower than many competitors, parts were widely available, and maintenance costs were modest. For small contractors and farmers, this made ownership realistic without sacrificing capability. In the 1980s, many MF50Bs worked year-round on farms and seasonal construction projects, often accumulating high hours with minimal downtime. Crews trusted them not because they were impressive, but because they were honest machines that did exactly what they were built to do. Number 10. Fiat-Allis FB Series Backhoe Loaders. The Fiat-Allis FB Series backhoe loaders represented a distinctly European approach to backhoe design during the late 1970s and 1980s. Formed through the partnership between Fiat and Allis-Chalmers, Fiat-Allis machines were common across Europe and in select international markets. These backhoes were often more compact than their American counterparts, making them ideal for confined job sites, urban streets, and tight industrial areas. Crews working in older cities appreciated machines that could maneuver where larger backhoes struggled. Fiat-Allis engines were known for durability and efficiency. They delivered smooth power suitable for long workdays, and the machines handled sustained use without excessive wear. The hydraulic systems emphasized control and balance rather than brute force, aligning well with European construction styles that favored precision. The FB series machines were also respected for their structural strength. Frames, booms, and loader arms were heavily built, allowing the machines to handle demanding conditions despite their compact size. Operators often commented on how solid they felt compared to lighter machines. Maintenance and parts support depended heavily on region. In Europe, Fiat-Allis dealer networks provided strong support, making ownership practical. This regional strength is why these machines remained popular in certain markets long after newer models appeared elsewhere. By the end of the 1980s, Fiat-Allis backhoes had earned a loyal following among crews who valued practical engineering over excess size. They weren't universal favorites, but in the environments they were designed for, they were highly respected. So that's it for today. If you liked this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.